Inside the great glass elevator, there was also a good deal of excitement. Charlie and Mr. Wonka and all the others could see clearly the huge silvery shape of the Space Hotel USA, about a mile ahead, and behind them was the smaller, but still very enormous, transport capsule. The great glass elevator was in the middle, and of course everybody, even Grandma Josephine, knew very well what was going on. They even knew that the three astronauts in charge of the transport capsule were called Shuckworth, Shanks, and Showler. The whole world knew about these things. Newspaper and television had been shouting about almost nothing else for the past 6 months. Operation Space Hotel was the event of the century. What a load of luck! We've landed ourselves slap in the middle of the greatest space operation of all time. We've landed ourselves in the middle of a nasty mess, said Grandma Josephine. Turn back at once. No, Grandma. We've got to watch it now. We must see the transport capsule linking up to the space hotel. Let's beat them to it, Charlie, Mr. Wonka said. Let's get there first and go aboard the space hotel ourselves. Charlie gaped. Then he gulped. Then he said softly, "It's impossible. You have to go. You have to have all sorts of special gadgets to link up with another spacecraft, Mr. Wonka. My elevator could link up with a crocodile if it had to. Just leave it to me, my boy." "Grandpa Joe!" cried Charlotte. "Did you hear that? We're going to link up to the space hotel." "Yippee!" shouted Grandpa Joe. "What a brilliant idea, sir. What a staggering idea." He grabbed Mr. Wonka's hand and started shaking it like a madman. "Be quiet, you balmy old bat," said Grandma Josephine. "We're in a hot enough stew already. I want to go home." "Me too," said Grandma Georgina. "What if they come after us? What if they capture us? What if they shoot us? Oh, what if my beard were made of green spinach?" cried Mr. Wonka. "Bunkum and Tommy Rot. You'll never get anywhere if you go on what ifing like that. Would Columbus have discovered America if he said, 'What if I sink on the way over? What if I meet pirates? What if I never come back?' He wouldn't even have started. We want no what ifers around here, Charlie. Off we go then. But wait, this is a very tricky maneuver and I'm going to need help." Mr. Wonka made a funny blowing noise with his mouth and glided effortlessly. "Grandpa Joe, sir, kindly station yourself behind that silver button over there. Yes, that's the one. And you, Charlie, go up and stay floating beside that little golden button near the ceiling. I must tell you that each of these buttons fires booster rockets from different places outside the elevator. That's how we change direction. Grandpa Joe's rockets turned us to starboard, to the right. Charlie's rockets turn us to port, or to the left. Mine makes us go higher or lower or faster or slower. All ready?" "No, no, no, wait," cried Charlie, who was floating exactly midway between the floor and the ceiling. "How do I get up? I can't get up to the ceiling." "My dear boy, you can't swim in this stuff. It isn't water, you know. It's air and very thin air at that. There's nothing to push against, so you have to use jet propulsion. Watch me. First you take a deep breath, then you make a small round hole with your mouth, and you blow as hard as you can." Suddenly everyone began practicing this business of flying about, and the whole elevator was filled. And well, may you wonder what the millions of people down on Earth were thinking as they watched the crazy happenings on their television screens. You must realize they couldn't see things very clearly. The great glass elevator was only about the size of a grapefruit on their screens, and the people inside, slightly blurred through the glass, were no bigger than the pips of the grapefruit. Even so, the watchers below could see them buzzing about. "What in the world are they doing?" shouted the President of the United States, staring at the screen. "Looks like some kind of war dance, Mr. President." "You mean they're Red Indians?" said the President. "I didn't say that, sir." "Oh, yes, you did." "Oh, no, I didn't, Mr. President." "Silence, you're muddling me up," said the President. Back in the elevator, Mr. Wonka was saying, "Please, please, do stop flying about. Keep still, everybody, so we can get on with the docking." "You miserable old mackerel," said Grandma Georgina, sailing past them. "Just when we start having a bit of fun, you want to stop it." "Look at me, everybody," said Grandma Josephine. "I'm flying. I'm a golden eagle." "I can fly faster than any of you," cried Grandpa George, whizzing around and round, his nightgown billowing out behind him like a cape. "Grandpa George, do please calm down. If we don't hurry, these astronauts will get there before us. Don't you want to see inside the space hotel?" "Out of my way!" shouted Grandma Georgina. "I'm a jumbo jet." "You're a balmy old bat," said Mr. Wonka. In the end, the old people grew tired, and everyone quickly settled quietly. "All right, Charlie and Grandpa Joe, said Mr. Wonka. All set, Charlie answered, hovering near the ceiling. I'll give the orders. I'm the pilot. Don't fire your rockets until I tell you to. And don't forget who is who, Charlie. Charlie, you're port. Grandpa Joe, you're starboard. Mr. Wonka pressed one of his own two buttons, and immediately booster rockets began firing. Hard to port, yelled Mr. Wonka. Charlie pressed his button. His rockets fired. The elevator swung back. Steady as you go. Starboard 10 degrees. Steady, steady. Keep her there. Soon they were hovering directly underneath the tail of the enormous silvery space hotel. See that little square door with the bolts on it? That's the docking entrance. It won't be long now. Port a fraction. Steady. Starboard a bit. Good, good, good. Easy does it. We're nearly there. To Charlie, it felt rather as though he were in a tiny rowboat underneath the stern of the biggest ship in the world. The space hotel towered over them. It was enormous. I can't wait, thought Charlie, to get inside and see what it looks like.